Okay, well, Jen Landau's got a huge one. Trying to hone my niche and figure out how to best market to my ideal client. Okay, that may be more than we can handle today, but Jen, where are you zooming in from today?
I'm in Hudson Valley, New York, about an hour north of New York City.
Okay, great. Well, welcome, welcome. Mhm.
Yeah, I just got certified as a book coach through Author Accelerator in the spring, and I'm trying to get my initial clients. I do have a website, and I have a pretty, I know what I want my niche to be, whether or not, I can hit the target is
Sure.
um, I tried to get my website copy to hone it toward them, and I've had a guest post on Jane Friedman. I don't know if you know who she is, but she's got many thousands of followers. I did do a couple presentations at libraries, but I'm not
Okay.
really. Go ahead.
Okay, who are you trying to reach?
Okay, so I work with female identifying caregivers, usually those in midlife plus, who are writing fiction or memoir. And I want to help them with like accountability and feedback so they can finish or revise their manuscript.
Okay. Well, because it's early days, I would say, for everyone, it's good to remember there's multiple stages of business. Stage one, which I think you're probably in, is the creation phase where it's brand new, you're trying stuff out. There's no cash flow at all. There's no way you can sustain yourself on it at stage one. Stage two is concentration, where you're starting to focus a bit. The niche is honing even more. You're figuring out what kind of packages you want to offer. Maybe at this point you've got a part-time assistant, and then stage three is momentum, where you're in a rhythm now, and you're getting paid. You probably have at least one full-time assistant, maybe a couple, and etc. So I would say you're in stage one. And stage one, it's just there's a need for a lot of experimenting and trying different things at very small levels. So from what I'm hearing from your niches, I think there's probably room for more clarity there, but it only comes from trying stuff. So if you go to my YouTube and search under my playlist, look under like pilots or beta tests, I think there's a playlist on that. And I would dig into that, and I would just be thinking about what are small little offerings I could put out for very specific. And I would really err on the side of just being way too specific. So like midlife memoirs, boom, as a kind of focus, and just to think about that. Or um yeah, the other thing I would check out is if you search on YouTube, search Tad Hargrave positioning matrix, because there's a conversation I had with Danny Inney, and I think probably very helpful for this, which is there's a lot of book coaches out there. There's more and more all the time. I mean, every year I think we're looking at an exponential curve uh, in that field, and in a lot of fields. And maybe some of you can relate. There's a lot of other people who do what you do. So the need to find out, where do we fit in the marketplace? Where do we belong? What's the role that we want to play that's unique and different from what others are doing, becomes really vital. So I'd recommend watching that video and sort of really digging in, thinking that through. That may be by your politics. It might be like, look, I'm a book coach with these kind of politics and this kind of worldview. Sometimes that's enough. I just heard this the other day, that they were looking on somebody's website. They were looking for somebody to help them. What was it? It was some social detail. But people will pick people because it's like, oh, you're into opera, me too. And sometimes that's enough of a thing. So that would be my suggestion. Just try a lot of things, experiment, but very small. Don't like rebrand, build a whole new website. Just try and see how it feels. See how, and by the way, those experiments don't have to be an offering. It could be having little research calls with people. Like my experiment is I'm going to do 5 research calls with middle-aged women who want to write memoirs. And I'm just going to experiment and test. And then I'm going to see. You realize, oh, wait, I got to hone this a bit. It's not quite this. And I want them to have this sort of spiritual leaning or this kind of political leaning. That's going to be better, you know, etc. So that's what I would say in terms of next steps.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, thank you for calling in, Jen.